545, 546, 547, all the way down. Beak all the way to the floor. Reese, how do we look?
the form is great.
You look great. I don't know about the duck.
Jess. I just want to really welcome Jess into what we live with. I want to tell all of our friends in purple here that Jess Sims just predicted the Duck is going to do 547 push-ups inside Husky Stadium today.
I did. One of it.
Hey, Jess is absolutely jacked, by the way. Fitness expert, they said. I think it's a couple steps further than that.
That was a savvy move by the Duck right there. Almost had to do push-ups with Jess sitting on him. That wasn't going to happen. Oregon gets in position to make the Duck do all of those push-ups with a heavy dose of play-action pass. That works because they run the ball so well. They lead the nation, getting nearly 4 yards per carry before contact, and then Bucky Irving gets nearly 4 yards per carry on his own after contact. That's a pretty good winning formula. The Huskies' run defense hasn't been great. They need to see if they can keep the Ducks behind the chains today, and that will be a very tall task.
This offense is dangerous. He can do it with the arm and then showcase the smarts with the legs.
I would say our offense is very explosive. My job is just to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers.
Bo's the type of person that's going to take a shot, not only with his arm, but with his feet, too. If he has a lane, he's going to go take it.
It's going to take sound tackling and sound in our assignments. We're ready to come smack him on that first drive.
Intercepted! Ulufashia, the pick six.
They're an incredible defense. They've done a great job all year.
You know, they use their hands really well, and they're really explosive players, and they create a lot of disruption. So there's people that you have to know where they're at all times.
We feed off of disruption, and that's what we try to do on every single play.
You know, the passion that they play with is going to be the best that we face this year. We're really up for the challenge.
When you get an opportunity like this, you want to go out there and make the most of it.
It's going to be quite a Goodyear road test for Dan Lanning's offense. They have put up big numbers, and we've shown a lot of shot plays that Washington has used this season. Oregon does it differently. Over 40% of Bo Nix's passes, Pat, are at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you heard the entire team there talk about how Bo's able to do it on the ground and through the air. Those go hand in hand with each other. They're 57% pass, which is pretty lopsided whenever it comes to throwing the ball, a lot of quick ones. But the run game is the reason why it all goes. And Bo Nix, being the athlete that he is a massive piece of it. Let's go to the film, shall we, Reese? Okay, so this is something that needs to happen for this offense to work efficiently. 3rd and 3. They're down. Got to have it. What can Bo Nix do? Oh, he can scramble, get the edge, put his body on the line, and pick up a first down. Teams know that now. So they have to account for Bo Nix being a dog. Fake to Bucky Irvin? Nah, not a fake to Bucky Irvin. You have eyes on Bo Nix. He's out the gate through a big, gaping hole. Oh, you think they're going to run? You think Bucky Irvin's going to run the rock? You think Bo Nix is going to run the rock? You take your eyes off for a second. Boom! He's out to Troy Franklin and the boys. Bo Nix. And they are able to do this. And although it's a Penix specialty and most of Oregon's passes are within 5 yards, he can take a deep shot. 72-yard tud here for Troy, who's averaging over 100 yards a game. Their offense is efficient. Their offense moves. There are a lot of short passes, but it all comes from that run game, Des, both from the running back and the quarterback.
Well, you know, a lot of talk about the offenses, and rightfully so, both explosive. But how about the Huskies' defense? I don't think they get enough love. You're talking about a group that runs a 4-2-5 configuration, something you don't see every week, but you're starting to see more of. Let me show you what the Huskies' defense is going to bring to the table. First, let's start with number 8, Braylon Trice, 6'4", 270 at the top. This guy can bull rush any left tackle. He's going to be playing on Sundays. He's going to be a problem for the Ducks offense. And then his guy, my man, Tupu Ola for Tui. That's it. Yeah, let's go.
Shout out, Oos.
Excellent pass rusher. A lot of moves. Watch his get off. Look how he gets up the field. Let's rewind. Watch it again. Watching the balls move. He's the first one up the field. You're talking about a sack, a strip, and a fumble recovery from my man. And then in the back end, number 7, Dom Hampton. Coach told me that this guy is very rangy. He triggers a lot in the run game. He looks at his run keys, and he's going to make plays really close to the line of scrimmage. Make sure you keep an eye on him. 6'3", 220 pounds, rangy guy. I like the Huskies' defense, guys.
I think both these defenses are untested.
Yeah.
I mean, we think we know about Washington's defense. We think we know about Oregon's defense, but truly today we're going to find out because we talked since we've been here about Penix and Bo Nix and their firepower. Both these offenses close to 50 points a game. Think about that. You watch NFL football, they're scoring 18, 20, 24 points. These games, you're talking about 46, 50 points. But now today, and I think the explosive play, Washington had to get up a run over 20 yards all year. Now you get the offense that you just talked about. So who gives up the explosive? Who's able to prevent the big play? Make that other offense have to drive the length of the field. Be a big factor, I think, in the game.
It decided the game last year. Penix hit a couple of big plays in Autzen Stadium late in the game, and Washington came out with a road win. What happens today on the fridge, Stanford Steve?
Here we go.
It's on the board, as you see here. When I look at Washington, I just think about that defense. You touched on it. They got the pieces. They're not great statistically, only 6 sacks on the season. I think that defense with the crowd noise, third downs, getting off the field, Washington wins this game.
Oh! Right. Let's go Huskies.
2-2 last week, too. Steve chant coming, baby. Love that.
They love you.
That's good.
Was it loud when you played here, Steve?
Loudest place I ever played in. Make it louder today.
See if Herb Street and Fowler can hear themselves think.
They're high up there. They're very
press
high
box.
in this press box.
It's so loud. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have fun. It's 3:30 on ABC. When I called a game here years ago on Thursday night, not swaying. not that night. They're struggling a little bit back then. It's good to have them back. Coming up after College Game Day,
Look out
Jalen
for Bama.
Milroe and Alabama against Arkansas.
Yeah, Milroe getting better. They've made some adjustments. Boy, he's got a big arm. It's just getting more reps, getting more comfortable, working through his progressions. Nick Saban has a team, I think, trending in a very good direction. Defense is playing well. They're going to make KJ Jefferson have to be able to have more balance in their attack. They've not been able to run the football the way we've seen Bama jump.
Jace McClellan, obviously the run game is always going to be an important part of an Alabama offense. Last week against Texas A&M, not so much. I assume they're going to get back to that. Jace is a beast, 21 broken tackles this season.
How about Jermaine Burton last week? He had a game of his life. I hope he can back that up today going against this Arkansas secondary. I think he's going to have a big game. I think he's really building chemistry now with Jalen Milroe, so that's very important for that offense.
And big third downs last week. That's where Jalen Milroe was looking. There's KJ Jefferson. Man, they've really struggled. They've sort of changed the offense a little bit, and it hasn't quite clicked the way it has in past years.
Yeah, I mean, think about the games they've played. I mean, it's been a challenging run for them. Now they go to Tuscaloosa. They've got to stay in the game early, get themselves to believe that they can compete. And I think KJ Jefferson, it's about trying to find some balance. Like I said, they submit been very one-dimensional.
They haven't been able to run the ball, which is not surprising. They do have Rocket Sanders back. There's Dubs. He is super dog. How about that? Look who's leading. But finally, last week.
Steve's coming. Steve's coming.
Yeah, he is.
He's getting up there. He's getting up there.
LC, who have you got for a super dog?
Louisville shocked the nation when they destroyed Notre Dame on Saturday. The Cardinals are still on cloud 9. Pitt had it all week and changed quarterbacks. Pitt beat Louisville the last time they played at Pitt. Pitt upsets Louisville.
Do I still have to go here?
What's this?
Easy money here.
Oh, no. I didn't say it.
I'm going for mustard. Coming off a big win against Fresno State. Guys, they're 11-2.
Me neither.
Against the spread. Taking on Air Force. My brother, forgive me for this one, Jonathan. I got to go with the mustard.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, I'm going UAB. UTSA only covered one game so far this year. UAB 56 points last week with Zeno at quarterback. I expect them to keep it close, if not win the game.
Well.
I had no idea. You're dead. You're dead.
Slovis, though, has an opportunity against this TCU defense. I think we've seen it time and time again. Kirk, welcome to getting points. BYU is our super dog.
Hey!
If it doesn't work out, you've got a cushion. I'm going to take Iowa State on the road against Cincinnati. They're getting 5 there. Cyclones coming around a little bit. Go back to back.
Okay.
Talk to us. I want to tell you a little something here. You know what? I never take the game that somebody else takes. I had BYU also and changed off of
we
it.
all like BYU.
I know. You three, huh? Oh, man. Steve is on BYU.
I'm going for
it's
zero
on the
all
fringe.
year. I'm going for
wow.
zero all year.
I hope not.
All righty.
What are you doing? We're together this time.
Okay.
Let's pull for our team.
Let's do it.
There you go.
You're so negative.
Our friends at Wheels Up and Delta Airlines make sure our celebrity guest picker gets here every week. This week, glad to welcome Joel McHale back to the program. Hey, there's the quick painting guy getting into.
There was a painting, and then he got painted.
Yeah.
I hope you're a better driver than a body painter.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Great, Joel. Off to a great start. He doesn't care. Should I drive or would you like?
I'll go in first because it's. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I trained him too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a seat here.
All right, here we go.
All right, wow. So this is not your first time on campus. You were actually a walk-on in the 90s, right? Oh, gosh.
I was a walk-on, yes, which meant not very good at football. Let's go to the Husky.
Ooh, I can take him in the car.
Cute,
Can I have him in the car?
Yeah, go grab him. Go grab him.
Oh, the speedy. Okay, great. Now I feel better. Okay.
You got him?
Yes, I got him. All right, keep driving.
Here we
Keep driving.
go.
Yeah, everything's fine here. Oh,
Hi, buddy.
don't look at the.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're guest picker today.
What did I do today? Is that what you're asking?
I said you're guest picker today. You're gonna make some picks.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna make some picks, and I've already picked out a dog. Hi, buddy.
So much more coming up the game day.
know
Don't
one
go
thing.
anywhere.
Those new tiles are falling right into place until you run out of, what are those called again? Oh, right. The Home Depot app is made for doing that doesn't miss a beat, so you can find what you need fast and keep things moving in the right direction. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere. What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh, no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref! Let the boys play!
You can't focus on the game when you're worrying about your tummy. So whenever the clock is stopped, that's when we order in. Like before kickoff, like right now. What are you doing staring at me? Let's get to ordering. Pizza, chips, drinks, spaghetti, I don't know, phones. Now.
Hey, Bob. Looks like you're ready for the game.
Oh, you know it. I got the antenna up and I got the game on. You looking for a place to watch?
Actually, that would be great. I can't get the game.
Oh, you gotta get that antenna, Mike. It's not just football. It's sports and news and all your favorite shows for free. Well, come on in, man. Oh, actually, there is just one more thing.
Yes! I gotta get an antenna.
Antennas up, game on. Visit thefreetvproject.org.
Join me at Chime.com.
Once you pick up an Arby's cheesesteak, it's gonna be tough to set that thing back down. Hey, put it back. The commercial is not over. Arby's, we have the meats.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by DoorDash. Break time equals order time. Order in now so you never miss a minute of the game.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. Let's check in with Pete Thamel now for the game day checkdown. Pete, what do you have?
Hey, Reese,
I love you.
Duke does not have Riley Leonard tonight. He's doubtful. Look for Henry Beelan to get his first career start. Ohio State is down 3 key contributors on offense. Emeka Egbuka didn't make the trip. Both Mayan Williams and Travion Henderson are not going to play today for Ohio State, so there's a hole in the backfield there. Zachariah Branch is going to be a game-time decision for USC. He has not practiced in full. All signs point to him not playing, but he did make the trip. And Johnny Wilson is out for Florida State today when they play Syracuse at noon.
Keep in mind, Reese, Ohio State struggling to run the football already, even with healthy backs. So that's something to watch today.
And also saving them for next week.
Yeah.
When they have Penn State. And by the way, Rocky Sanders also
look at this list here.
going to be out for Arkansas against Alabama. The Rock still sitting on top.
Baker had a good night. Good day.
Baker only cared about the one.
Yeah, exactly.
You got right.
Wow. Ken Jeong is really at the bottom.
Yeah.
Look at that stud.
There's a little competition with Cole McHale and Ken Jeong.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, man. I remember that.
Host of The Soup, one of the greatest shows in the history of television.
God
for real.
Bless you for remembering.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm the generation. And this is also one of the most aggressive decisions. This is a random dog. This is not his dog.
This is not my dog.
This is Kai.
This dog was given to me while I was walking up. That's how amazing Seattle is.
Hey, I brought random baby.
Yeah.
Kai seems to have dog.
Hey, Joel, here are your records: 7-4 and 5-4. Okay. So good solid.
Okay,
Now we go. Let's see what we
You're
get
gonna be
done
holding
today.
some random guy's dog for the next 15 minutes.
Saturday selection presented by Coors Light. And let's start with Wyoming and Air Force. That's the first pick on the board today. Desmond, who you got there?
Well, because Wyoming is my super dog, it's a no-brainer. Let's go Wyoming. Sorry to my brother Johnson.
I can't believe
my brother Jonathan, I know.
Usually that never
Listen,
happens.
bro, I got to get a win. I got to get a dub. So I'm going Wyoming.
We've had flyovers at almost every single one of these game days. And
Love
I don't know if they've
them.
all been Air Force or maybe the Marines, I think, had their Harrier jets at one point. Give me America. Give me the Air Force. Get a big-time win here.
Well played, well played. Whatever, Desmond. It's going to be Air Force, everybody. It's going to be Air Force. They're going to win. Kai agrees.
Yep.
Hey, home field and ground attack, Air Force is the winner, and a big upset.
Well,
Stealth bomber.
Stealth bomber. Air Force, they average 330 a game on the ground.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Michel, I think, has a big day. Air Force.
Air Force.
Now I'm feeling real good about my pick.
You're the only one. But you know what? Somebody tweeted that like 80+% when it's across the board have been winners. So
Is that right?
no saving the graphic. What about Miami, North Carolina?
So we talked about Miami earlier. I think Miami's going to go up to North Carolina, play a high-spirited game. They've come together as a team over this past week because of what happened Saturday night. But too much UNC offense, too much Drake May. I see UNC beating the Canes by a field goal.
I think Mac Brown knows that he's going to get the best Miami team because of what happened last week. And I think he's had the boys prepared for that. North Carolina's a little bit more mature this year. Give me Drake May in the Tar Heels. Joel.
You're all
and
wrong.
Kai.
Oh, wait. Yes, no, I absolutely agree. It's going to be UNC. It's going to be USC beating Miami. And I will tell you, Desmond has already said if we're wrong, he will give me his watch.
It's a deal.
Good eye, young man. Good eye.
The improved defense helps North Carolina win this one by a touchdown. North Carolina defense.
This is the game we talked about earlier in the show that North Carolina has lost over the last 3 years. Reese said you go back as far as you want to go. When they're heavily favored and everything's looking good, they usually lay an egg and take a team for granted. I don't think they will do that today. Drake May found 11 different receivers a week ago. I think they spread it out. I think it's a different North Carolina team this year. Maybe a challenge, but they win.
80% you said.
Going to put
You know
it to
what's
the
weird
test.
is that I'm wearing almost as much makeup as Kirk. I mean, now I see you up close.
Kirk's so natural, baby.
I didn't know I had it on.
It looks like we're going to go to a Shakespeare play.
Kirk has a filter face naturally.
All right, Duke probably going to have to go with the young quarterback, Henry Beelan, playing North Carolina State.
Yeah, Riley Leonard meant so much to Duke's offense. I don't think they're going to be able to generate enough points. I'm going with the Wolf Pack.
Ooh, I like that pick. But for me, even without Riley, they got Henry Beelan the fourth. Hey, there's been 3 of them before. They prepared him for this moment. Give me Duke to get a big win.
Okay, well, my analysis is pretty important. One of these teams has like good players, and then the other team has slightly better players, and so those players are going to be better than those other players. That means Duke is going to lose, and I'm so sorry, Ken Jeong, wherever you are, you have jinxed your own team.
Doctor,
not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. Duke's looking ahead next week.
Big one next week.
They got Duke in upset. Wake Wolf back.
Well, everyone's talking about Riley Leonard, and I get it, but Duke's defense with Mike Elko, that's been the story to me all year. That defense shows up today against NC State. Maybe a lower scoring game, but I like Duke, and they do have a big one next week in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Kirk, on Thanksgiving, do you describe all the dishes this seriously? I could listen to you for 4 hours and be like, these are yams, and what's great about yams is the sugar. It really does a great binding to the actual vegetable after they're pureed, of course. Am I right, Reese?
You're right, Joel.
You're amazing.
Iowa and Wisconsin, it's a pretty big number for a struggling offensive team.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I believe that Wisconsin will take over in the fourth quarter. So Wisconsin, Badgers late. I'm going with the Badgers to win this one.
Just a week ago, I said Iowa, with no offense pretty much, is going to be the Big Ten West champions. Yeah. Well, I've changed my tune. They couldn't complete a pass to a wide receiver. Give me Wisconsin.
There you go.
Just for the sake of football as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to do Iowa versus Wisconsin. I'm going to say Oregon's going to lose that game too, okay? And, yeah, you are. Somehow you're going to lose that one as well. So I'm going to go with Iowa is going to win. Because, you know, they wear those wrestling singlets everywhere.
Wisconsin's beaten Iowa 3 times in a row, and with Madison. The game's in Madison, right?
Yes, sir.
Wisconsin.
Luke Fick will have his boys ready. And I think their ability, he loves the breakdown. I'll give it to you. The breakdown is the defense from Wisconsin will be Iowa can't throw the football, especially without Cade McNamara. Iowa will struggle on the road again today. Give me Wisconsin.
All right, Missouri.
It's a velvety fog that comes out of his. It's a velvety fog. You need to do a poetry slam, Kirk. It's amazing.
Missouri and Kentucky both coming off their first loss.
I got Missouri. I think Kentucky, after that Georgia game, they're pretty beat up, so I'm going Missouri. Love the way Missouri battled with LSU, too.
I think Kentucky bounces back. I think that last week was kind of just, it's Georgia. They're the back-to-back national championships. That's going to happen. I like Kentucky with a bounce back.
Okay, I hate to say this again. The Ducks will lose this game as well. I don't know how they keep losing in the same day. It's crazy. I'm going to go with Missouri by 3 safeties.
One tied.
Hey, it's homecoming in Kentucky. Homecoming. Kentucky by 3.
Oh, buddy.
I will go with both these teams lost last week.
Kai, you go.
And now I think Mark Stoops, I think that this is kind of a fork-in-the-road game for both these teams. I think the defense with Mark Stoops, Devin Leary is struggling. He needs to have a little bit more balance to their attack today. Oh, the dog's done. Huh?
Kai's had enough.
Performance, Kai.
Thank you, Kai.
He's purple, but he looks good.
There's Kai's dad.
Kai's going to be a challenge for the groomer with that purple paint all over him now.
It's the latest style.
Auburn and LSU. LSU a big favorite. This is traditionally a weird game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a weird game. It's not going to go the way everyone expects, but too much Jaden Daniels. He's playing as well as any quarterback in the nation right now. I'm going with the LSU Bayou Bengals.
I think LSU covers. I like LSU a lot.
LSU, every time, I think. Even next week.
Oregon didn't lose this one, though. That's good.
They didn't lose that one?
Well, you tell me.
You'll see. Next game, they'll lose.
Auburn.
This was a bye for them.
Auburn keeps it close with a running game. LSU does not cover, but wins.
Something crazy will happen tonight. LSU Auburn at night in Baton Rouge. Jaden Daniels, this guy's in the mix for the Heisman and one of the top players in the country. At home, he won't be denied.
Yeah. You know, LSU's sort of like the USC of the SEC.
Yeah.
They don't stop anybody, but you can't stop them either.
I don't know.
How about A&M and Tennessee?
Reese, that was a lot of C's.
A lot of C's? C's.
So I was on the Manning cast last Monday night, so shout out to Peyton. So I got to go with Rocky Top. Let's go Tennessee.
Okay, for me, Texas A&M. I like their front 7 against Tennessee that is more run-heavy this year.
Yeah, they are.
I think I like Texas A&M because of that.
Besides Oregon losing this game as well, I'm going with Tennessee.
Yeah. Tennessee leads the SEC in rushing, and that's the way they win this one. Tennessee wins this.
So one of these receivers is going to have to make a play because you're right. Tennessee's been more about the run game. It will not be enough against A&M's defense. I think Squirrel White makes a play, couple plays downfield that'll help Tennessee and Milton win. I like Tennessee at home.
All right, how about in the Pac-12, UCLA and Oregon State? Might be a little wet there.
Yeah, a little wet, a little nasty, a little sloppy. Oregon State's defense is going to force the young quarterback Dante Moore into some turnovers. I have the Beavs winning a close one over the Bruins.
Love what UCLA's building. DJ Uiagalelei just had his best game as a Beaver. Give me the Beef over UCLA.
Exactly what you guys have said. Give me the beef. Beavers will win. One thing cool about Oregon, the Beavers.
Not so fast, not so fast, not so fast. UCLA is 5th in the nation on defense. That's how they win it. Forcing turnovers, UCLA and Kelly's.
You see what Chip did last week with his back? That was like, 30 carries, 140 yards, Carson Steele. It'll be more of that. It'll be great defense. Key in the game is Dante Moore, the freshman quarterback. He cannot turn the ball over. Chip will put him in a position to be able to take care of the ball. The UCLA's defense and the running of Steele wins the game.
The thing about Kirk, he does not do his research. He doesn't ever know what he's talking about. All right, whatever. Just making it up.
Just start guessing, I guess.
As part of Kirk's research, top of the show, he reminded us that USC hasn't won in South Bend since 2011. So now SC at Notre Dame, who wins the game?
Too much Caleb Williams. I don't think that Notre Dame's defense, their secondary, have enough talent out there to deal with the perimeter talent for the Trojans. So I'm going USC.
Love Caleb Williams. Love everything about the style of play that he has, but I don't think it's going to be enough against Notre Dame today, who controls the rock and beats up that USC defense.
Yeah, and they use real gold in those helmets, as Kirk has already told you what kind of gold and where they mined it. And so I'm going with Notre Dame, even though it's going against the Pac-12.
UCLA, USC has got one of the best offenses in the nation, one of the worst defenses. But I picked them winning the national championship. So it's USC.
I'm going USC, and I think it's Caleb Williams going to make enough plays. This is going to be a competitive game. Notre Dame's going to make some plays, obviously, to keep them in it. The spirit, it's been 4 straight. I mean, Ohio State, Duke, and then last week with Louisville, now today against SC will be a challenge for them, but they're going to come up a little bit short. Spirited fight. Caleb Williams wins the game late.
Arizona almost beat USC last week. Jaden DeLaura, the former Washington State quarterback, we'll see if he's back. Fafita's been terrific. Arizona on the road following up that game. Arizona or Wazoo?
Really like what I see Jed Fish doing with Arizona, the culture that they're bringing there. His very, very competitive team right now. So I got Arizona winning this game over Wazoo.
I picked Washington State last week just strictly because I wanted them to have an incredible season with everything that's popping off. Got a chance to meet some of the Cougs. They don't like me, but their flag is beautiful. The flag is beautiful. But give me Arizona to beat Washington State for back-to-back losses for Wazoo.
What do you got here?
Look, I'm from Washington State, and look, if the Cougs are fighting the Huskies, it's always the Huskies, but anybody else, I will always go with the Cougs. Washington State's going to win, and I'd like them to send me a bottle of Pinot Noir. They make great wine out there in Eastern Washington, guys.
Okay.
Drew Bledsoe has some great wine.
Bledsoe, it's amazing wine, very
Damon
highly
Heward
rated.
has some great wine. Left the bump.
What'd you pick?
Oh, I picked Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah. Washington State lost last week against UCLA. I think they have a chance to bounce back. This team's legit. I think they believe in their coach and their system. I got Washington State. Crowd loves it. Crowd loves it.
There you go, young team.
This guy's jacked, by the way.
but
I'm
it's
staring at his boobs here. They're painted 2 different colors. Joel, you are properly jacked up
This
here.
is, thank you very much. I mean, I just watch your show where the tank tops get smaller and smaller. And then at some point, I want there to be a mesh half shirt.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to be all dressed down. Instead.
No, not for the great state of Washington and this beautiful.
Here we go.
And because of that, Oregon hates Washington because their vote kicked them out of the Rose Bowl in the 40s. Washington hates Oregon mostly just because they're Oregon, but also they conspire with other schools to stop playing Washington 100 years ago to stop their run of dominance. It goes deep in the disdain and the contempt that these two sides have for each other. This is a playoff-level game today, and the stakes are enormous.
And y'all know what time it is, baby. Everybody knows what this game is. Everybody knows what the they think of us over there. 1, 2, 3.
It's an honor to play in a game like this. It's the game that's right here in front of us and the game that we're focused on.
Top 10 matchup, probably the biggest game I've ever played in.
I anticipate Husky Stadium being something different than even what I've ever seen.
You know that whoever comes out on top has a great chance of not only winning the championship, but also getting to that playoff too.
You got to make sure that you're focused on playing the game, not the occasion. If you don't have juice right now, then you need some help.
It's a dogfight. Expect a 12-round boxing match. You got to be ready for their best shot.
Kirk is calling the game. No pick. That's going to be fun calling the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Who wins the game?
Tell you what, you look at Oregon's offense, explosive. Bo Nix is a dual-threat quarterback. This team comes in here seeking revenge for what happened a year ago. But Michael Penix Jr., he's on a mission. You got to love he has the best 3 receivers in all of college football. I got to go with the Huskies today in a close one. Is that okay, Joel?
Okay, so I love Dan Lanning. I think what Oregon has done is just absolutely glorious. I think Bo Nix should be in the Heisman conversation and is one of the greatest players that college football has. I expected this entire region to hate my guts when I got here. And
I already do.
Well, I appreciate you, but that hasn't been this. These people have been so incredible. I got a chance to talk to Coach DeBoer. I got a chance to see Michael Penix Jr. do his thing. I got a chance to see the Husky Nation be here since 4 p.m. yesterday. I saw Grayson cheat and kick a field goal and get 30,000. I'm going to remember this day on the days that I die because of how fantastic it's been. So there's no chance in hell I don't pick the quiver, the bow and arrow, Michael Penix Jr. And the Washington Huskies to beat the Oregon Ducks today.
Here we go, guys.
Who are you going with?
First of all, go Huskies! Yeah! Here. This is not going to, it's going to be like the Broncos versus the Dolphins. It's going to be like 70-20.
I was at that game.
Got that. Look, Washington owns you, Oregon. We have your coffee, Starbucks, your computers, Microsoft, all your shopping, Amazon. Shall I go on? Yes, airplanes, Boeing. And what do you guys have? No income tax, and you can't pump your own gas. Ladies and gentlemen, the Huskies are going to win today. And the Ducks will lose 4 times. Good night.
So wait a second. Washington. Good old Duck here. He's never, ever picked against a Duck. I don't think he's ever. So it's going to all be Washington.
Don't go against the family, right?
No, it's all Washington.
It's no secret the Duck is my favorite mascot.
It's true.
I love picking him. Watch this. I love picking that Duck. He's my favorite. Going with the Ducks.
Very simple. And the Harley.
Oh, what, you got a package for me? Oh, look at it!
What a great morning it's been. We got a live Duck loose on the set. Feathers are flying. Oh, yeah. Escape Ducks. That could be a good omen for the Oregon Ducks today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this pick is strictly business. Give me Harry.
Oh! Harry the Husky. There's Doe. Yeah, he approves of the pick. Wherever Kai is, Kai's still up on the set. Purple paint all over him. Thanks to our good friend.
They're talking about. So here are the two options that the players have today. First of all, we've got the molded spike, and you can see that the spikes there are kind of cleats are right built into the bottom of the shoe. Then we've got this one, and this is the screw-in, and you can see right away that the screw-in cleats are much longer than the molded, and this is the one that Ohio State's offensive coordinator Brian Hartline prefers for his players. Why? Because he was a Buckeye wide receiver, and he strongly suggested that everybody wear these because he wants them to have a great opportunity to have good lines as they're running up the field to make those cuts. Marvin Harrison Jr., I saw him in warm-ups. He has on these molded cleats. And I'd say the team is about 50-50 split. Most of the skilled players, I think, will have the screw-in cleats. Some of the others molded. We'll see what happens in this wet field. Only the 5th game for this brand-new field here at Purdue.
You know, Andrew, and those guys would be smart to listen to offensive coordinator Brian Hartline. He's a guy that played all of his home games at the Shoe when they had natural grass there. So he's definitely a guy that's played in these November, October, wet, natural turf games, and guys played a lot of football. He's given great advice to these players. He just wants them to be able to go out there and be confident in the cuts they make. And he said, if you choose molded and I see you slip, you already know what I'm going to tell you.
Here we go with Jaden Fielding kicking off here on Big Ten Saturday on Peacock. It is a touchback, and Purdue is going to open things up as we are underway at Ross-Ade Stadium. Purdue's going to open up on its own 25-yard line with the quarterback, Hudson Card, who, honestly, Kyle, kind of took a beating last week in that loss at Iowa, was sacked 6 times. The offensive line was an issue. They're without their key right tackle, Marcus Bode. Got to protect the quarterback.
You got to protect the quarterback, and the better they can keep him upright, the more confidence he's going to have in that injury. And it's something that he talked about. Throwing the football doesn't bother him, but getting tackled on his side does. So in an ideal world, we keep the quarterback upright, and he can throw the football downfield all game.
It's really his left shoulder that's bugging him. Ohio State, by the way, won the toss and deferred. And Card's going to come out of the gun with Garrett Miller, the tight end in motion, and Mockabee with a big gain on first down. And this crowd gets loud early as Mockabee takes it to the 44 and a gain of 19 on the opening play. Josh Proctor with the tackle.
Yeah, you got to love the style by Devin Mockabee. Able to run the zone play here out the front side and pick up an explosive run on 1st and 10.
And Purdue with a little tempo here. From the 44, low snap. First pass is complete, and that's Deion Burks. 2 plays, 2 nice gains, and already the Boilermakers are across midfield.
Well, it's something they talked to us about yesterday, getting Hudson Card completions early in the game, and to no one other than Deion Burks, somebody that we heard we'll see a lot of today, moving all over the field. I talked about making the explosive plays. He's a guy that can do it.
And that's good for a gain of 7. The Boilermakers already in Ohio State territory. You take it to Burks, you give it to Mockabee, another nice run and another Purdue first down. He's going to take it to the Buckeye 45-yard line.
This is a play that Purdue relies a lot on in the 11 personnel run game. So they got one tight end out there on the field. The tight end pulls around with the guard in the gap scheme, and there's a lot of air in that front for Devin Mockabee.
Devin Mockabee, the former walk-on, they call him Crazy Legs. He's going to get another one. No, he isn't. The fake. Card throws sidearm. We got another completion. T.J. Sheffield. Jamie Eichenberg is going to get him, but not before he's very close. Tommy Eichenberg, beg your pardon, do another Purdue first down.
Gotta love what Hudson Card does there. His eyes are downfield. He's able to find his receiver and get another completion, get a 2nd and 1 here. The entire playbook's open to Graham Harrell here.
Miller, the tight end, comes in motion. Here's Mockabee, who lowers his shoulder, runs into steel chambers, but moves the chains.
Purdue's using tempo here, keeping this Ohio State defense off balance. See how quickly they're getting to the line of scrimmage. They're already go again on 1st and 10.
Mockabee goes to the sideline. Dylan Downing checks in as the running back here. We're about 2.5 minutes in. Purdue's on the move. Downing gets his first carry of the game. A couple of yards to the 31. Tackled by Michael Hall Jr.
Yeah, Purdue's able to get to the draw on 1st and 10. Giving them a couple yards. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to stay out of the 3rd and long. So this is 2nd down is a huge down when you don't get an efficient run on 1st and 10.
Both teams talked all week about starting well, getting their quarterbacks in a rhythm early. Card fires his first incompletion there. intended for Burks. The coverage by the big defensive lineman, the All-American JT Tuimoloau.
And that's exactly what we're talking about there. Now we're in, 3rd and 8. And 3rd and 8, talking to offensive coordinator Graham Harrell yesterday, that's not where you want to live, especially playing against this Ohio State defense with the rushers that they have on the edge.
With Downing the backfield.